Alright, so here we have a sequence and we're trying to determine what comes next in the pattern. So this is pretty basic and straightforward, and this is inductive reasoning, not deductive. So we're looking at what comes next. We've got 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So I can look at this in two ways. What do you think comes next? I agree, it's probably 15, and then maybe 17, and then 19, because it's increasing by 2 each time. Or it's the odd numbers, but we started with 5. So whichever you want to think about it, that's what's coming next. The second part here, write an equation for the nth term, is much trickier. This is an Algebra 2 piece, and you can get some extra credit on our next test with this. So it's important to kind of think about in a different way, and you will have to do it next year. So we notice, first of all, that this is not changing, that it's increasing by 2. So we'd be talking kind of about slope and the equations, and this is a line because it has a constant rate of change. The slope is 2, and so we can just kind of think about that. So I like to do a table when I'm looking for the term. So if x, then out comes y, and what came out was 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Okay, and so I started with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what I want to do is try to write an equation, and so this would probably be n. But I want to write an equation where I get this stuff out. If I plug in 1, I get out 5. If I plug in 2, I get out 7. I plug in 3, I get out 4. So if this pattern is correct, what would happen if I plugged in 0? So if I went backwards and plugged in 0, what's the previous number here? Well, it's probably 3, going backwards because I've got to go down by 2 more. So this number before would probably have been 3. So that means, thinking of this y equals mx plus b thing that we learned last year, where b is where you start, or the y-intercept, that's probably 3. And what's it changing every time? The rate of change, which is the slope. It's changing 1 over 2. Or 2 over 1, excuse me. Rise over run. So 2x plus 3 would be our thing. So we're looking for the nth term, so we're going to change that to n. So 2n plus 3 is what we guess. And think about what would happen if I plug in 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 3 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. If I plug in 5, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13, so it's working for all of these. If I take 6, which is the next term, it gets 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. And so it works for what I think the next pattern is, and that's how we come up with the nth term. It's not easy. Again, it's Algebra 2. It's something you'll do later, but it is something that will be on our next test as extra credit.